Back with Sergio Mora ringside. Callum Smith did things in there in moments where against almost any other fighter in the world, he would have had more success. And I'll go back to it, I forget exactly which round it was, where he landed 2 shots, Sergio, and then he went for the kill shot with the hook, and now Canelo wasn't there. And Canelo is just, he's smart, he's clever, just as Callum said, he has excellent defense, and Canelo is just not there for Callum Smith to take the opportunities to hurt him. Canelo just doesn't allow that. And conversely, Canelo is hurting you all the time.
And that's why I always tell people power is not intimidating like speed, like defense. Power is great to look at. It knocks everyone out. But power punchers are more, they fear speed and they fear somebody that knows how to box. Look at the first thing that came out of Callum Smith's mouth. He's smart. He's deceptive. He sets traps. He didn't say he hit hard. He didn't say he hurt me. He just said he's smart and deceptive. That's what makes Canelo dangerous, aside from the power and speed.
And now, I just want to point this out too. I've been doing this 35 years. I like to, as they say, give it up. When I see greatness, I like to give it up. And we interviewed Errol Spence, who looked great in his last fight. We interviewed Teofimo Lopez, the lightweight champion, who looked great in his last fight. I thought Canelo just looked great in this fight. Your thoughts, Sergio?
You named 3 great champions. You gotta love Teofimo Lopez as well, because he has the personality to go with it. Canelo does all his talking in the ring. He does his talking with his fists. That's the #1 fighter on the planet. And right now you see him talking to another Mexican great in Chavez, and that's the closest you can get to Mexican greatness, Chavez and Canelo.
Look at how swollen that arm is there. He just got whacked on that arm with right hands throughout the fight.
Listen, I was going to say that on telecast, that he's not going to be able to move his arms tomorrow, because I've been there before. His back's going to be hurting, his ribs, his arms. I've never seen that. That's a block shot, Brian, and he has that swollen.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that either, and I think he's going to feel that more than tomorrow. It's going to last. You see Liam Smith there, too, came up short against Canelo. I give a lot of credit to Callum Smith there. He tried, Sergio. He tried, and again, Canelo just would not allow it, while all through the fight there's constant applied intelligent pressure and thudding pressure from the middleweight champion.
He tried, but he couldn't be his brother's keeper. And we saw Liam Smith get knocked out brutally by body shots, and we saw Callum get hurt to the body, but he wasn't going anywhere, because not only did the size help him, but his heart. He does have a big, big heart.
No question. And we'll see him again, and perhaps he goes up to 175 pounds. In the meantime, Canelo Alvarez is a legitimate 3-division world champion. It gets diluted. A lot of guys win belts here and there, but only the true greats win 2 or 3. So stop laughing. We'll go to a man who won 2, 168, 175. A great fighter in his own right. Let's go back to London. Gareth Davies is there with Hall of Famer Joe Calzaghe. Fellas, your thoughts?
This division for 10 years undefeated. How impressive was Saul Canelo Alvarez tonight?
Very, very impressive. To be honest, his defense is tremendous. You've got to throw like 5-6 punches to land 1 or 2 punches with him. The way he holds his hands and his little slips, his little slides, he just makes fighters look average. It's just tremendous fight. And do you know what? He's getting better and better, and he's punching hard.
He's relentless and he's ruthless, isn't he? And we really saw that tonight.
Oh, he is, yeah. And, he's unforgiving. The thing is, when, Callum Smith was against the ropes and he was making him pay every time. He was going with the looping hooks around the side, punishing uppercuts. But I have to say, my heart, everything goes out to Callum Smith. You've got to be honest. What a lot of heart you put in there. He'll come back again.
He showed great heart, determination. We're still seeing those incredible flurries and attacks from Canelo Alvarez there. But let's have more of a word on Callum Smith. He was a brave champion who withstood a massive onslaught tonight. And I feel he could have been taken out earlier by Joe Gallagher, because he was miles behind on the cards.
Listen, it's not a point. Every champion wants to go to 12 rounds. Nobody wants to go out. We want to go on our shield. So he's a champion, So at the end of the day, he lost to a great fight at a pound-for-pound best. So no shame in that. And I think have a good time, relax, and come back fresh. And hopefully be a champion again sometime.
Thanks, champ. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much indeed. Wonderful to have you with us tonight, Gareth and Joe from London. I'm now at the Alamo Dome here, joined by Chris Mannix, who's joined us from ringside. Demetrius, who's been here all evening long with us. Listen, it was just an incredible victory, wasn't it? Canelo's defense is brilliant. He is poised. His precision is off the charts. He is just a different class of fighter.
Yeah, he looked great. He established the jab early on, started throwing shots to the body and showed and got his respect. And, man, he really outclassed him today.
There's so much to talk about Canelo and how masterful that was, but I also want to ask you about Callum Smith because you were just up close and personal with him. He's obviously struggling with the arm. What could you see? What could you tell?
Yeah, Callum didn't want to make an excuse in that moment. I give him credit for it, but you could see the redness on that arm. And Eddie Hearn told me after I did the interview that he believes Callum detached his bicep at some point during the fight. Now, Eddie made it clear it probably didn't matter. Canelo Alvarez won this fight going away. He was masterful in this performance, but something tells me in the next couple of days you'll hear about Callum Smith being on the shelf for a little while.
I mean, one of the questions that we heard Chris ask Canelo in the ring after the fight was the fact that he's been unified champion at 160, is now unified champ at 168. You asked him where that ranks. Where does it rank for you, this achievement tonight?
I mean, listen, he's doing things. 4-time world champion. I mean, he's a pound for pound guy. There's no better way and better title to put it at. You know.
Is he the guy at pound for pound now?
They already established that. I'm not going to say he is like the pound for pound guy yet because he hasn't fought all the top guys yet, like myself. Caleb Plant is out there. I'm always going to play like, let's go Canelo. I'm not going to sit there and go to the ropes and not throw punches. I'm going to fight Canelo all day. You know what I'm saying? It's a different fight. But he needs to get in there with, you know, the rest of the super middleweight division.
Okay, respectfully, yes. I'd like to see him fight you, no question. But he is unquestionably the #1 pound-for-pound guy in boxing right now. He has the best resume of anybody in boxing right now.
Yes, they did a great job with him.
Who did?
Golden Boy Promotions.
Are you kidding me?
They did a great job with moving Canelo. Yes, they
moving him implies, Demetrius, that you're just being given gimme fights. Erislandy Lara was not a gimme fight.
No,
Gennady Golovkin twice was not a gimme fight.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, but he has had a lot of gimme fights too, though. But of course, you got to fight somebody sooner or later, and he's fighting these guys at the right time.
He's fighting.
Laura has, what is Laura?
Erislandy Lara at that point was arguably the best guy at 154, right at the top. His own promotional company. You say Golden Boy moved him. None of those guys wanted him to fight Erislandy Lara. They wanted nothing to do with that. He moves up. Yes, maybe he cherry-picked a belt at 175, fighting a past his prime Sergey Kovalev, but Golovkin was a monster at that time when he beat them.
All credit to Canelo for fighting Triple G. I'm not sitting saying that, none of that. Like I just said, you have to fight somebody eventually, and he did that. And yes, he is the pound-for-pound guy. But there's other guys out there, too, that has great talent that's not going to sit there and just, like, go on the ropes all night. No, there's not guys doing that.
To be fair, not doing that. What Demetrius is saying, it's so close at the top. The guys that we're talking about who are in the mix of pound for pound, it's interchangeable, fight per fight basis.
Do you think, though, like, I don't think it's interchangeable at all. Lomachenko lost. He was the guy that I thought maybe he was interchangeable with. All respect to Terrence Crawford, he doesn't have anywhere close to the resume that Canelo Alvarez has. This guy is the best, and there's a gap. There's a real gap between him and #2.
Yes, Canelo has fought good fighters. His resume as well. We all know that. We're not sitting here knocking it. We're just saying there's other guys out there.
You just did knock it.
I know. No, I'm just saying there's some. He fought real guys at their prime, and he fought guys. Sugar Shane Mosley.
He was like 21.
Miguel Cotto.
Cotto was a champion.
Okay, but how old was these guys? And they was on their way out. Come on, man, stop.
I can't believe I'm arguing with Demetrius Andrade. I love Demetrius Andrade.
I love you too.
I'm like this guy's biggest supporter, and I'm arguing with him right now.
I mean, the thing that always stands out about Canelo is the fact that we've heard
Rocky Fielding,
Oscar De La Hoya in the past, right? That Canelo always fought the guys that Oscar told him not to fight. He went and fought Larry. He went.
Ricky Hatton's younger brother, or something like that.
You are talking about fighters that he fought well before he was a world champion. When he became a world champion, yes, he had some gimmies. He takes on an Amir Khan.
Trout, he is a good fighter, but he is not the best.
He was one of the best at 154.
I'm one of the best at 154, so why didn't I ever get the Canelo fight?
You're kind of light heavyweight now. I don't know what's going on with this over here.
All right,
I'm not looking good, but damn. All I'm saying is, Canelo is the man. He's doing a great job. It's other people's time to make it happen.
That we can all sign up to. The night, you know, obviously we're seeing the crowd kind of empty out behind us, but one of the things that Callum Smith and his camper talked about coming into this fight was this wasn't going to be the traditional Canelo fight. You're not going to have to deal with the traditional Canelo fight week. The fans in here were incredible tonight. I've been at another fight. I've been at the Errol Spence and Danny Garcia fight, but this one was loud.
It was a great atmosphere for the 12,000, 13,000 fans that were in attendance tonight. They were loud. They made it feel like you were at a real Canelo fight. It's not like a packed house in Las Vegas or New York, but for what we're at right now in a pandemic, it was as good as you can possibly get. And I think if you're Canelo, you've got to be happy with being able to do something like this.
Well, it has been fantastic to have both of your company this evening. Hopefully,
Billy Joe, sign that contract, boy, so I can whoop that ass now.
All right, thank you very much. At him on Twitter, I'm sure you will do. I appreciate both of your company. We appreciate your company at home as well, even more. It's been a great night of boxing. We do hope you enjoyed it. It was a really good one.